Welcome to the Michigan Minds Podcast, a quick and informative analysis of today's top issues from University of Michigan faculty.
My name is Rebecca Hassan. I am an associate professor in the School of Kinesiology, and I am also the director of the Active Schools and Communities Core within the University of Michigan Exercise, Sport, and Science Initiative. Approximately 2 months ago, the Vice President of the State Board of Education for Michigan, Dr. Pamela Pugh, reached out to me and asked, is there something that we can be doing for our children while they are sheltering in places? As you know, back in March, all of the schools, there is a closure of the schools across the state. And so many of the opportunities for children to be physically active were eliminated. So PE was less regular, or physical education happened on a less regular basis than it would in person, and it became virtual. There was essentially no recess, there's no walking to school, and even outside of PE, we know that many gymnasiums, many parks were closed, so children just lost a lot of opportunities for them to be physically active, either by themselves, with friends, or with their family members. So we started to brainstorm, what can we do while we are sheltering in place to promote physical activity among our K-12 students? And that is how Impact at Home came about. My work previously and currently is really focused in the classroom as we train teachers across the state to implement physical activity, short bursts of physical activity in their classrooms. And we said, hey, why don't we try that same sort of concept, but in the home? And so rather than playing physical activity or engaging in physical activity videos in the classroom, we are now producing exercise videos that kids can do while they're sheltering in place or while they're still at home. So even though the restrictions have been lifted and we can go outside, there's still not a lot of opportunities for children to be active with their peers. And so by creating these videos, we are hoping that this will spark interest in being more physically active at home that gives them 20 minutes of health-enhancing physical activity. So one of the great things about Impact at Home is we have been able to enlist the help and partnership of many different organizations across the state and across the nation. So we are currently working with Playworks. We're working with the Michigan Department of Education. We're also working with Michigan Public Health Institute, working with MISHCA, so that is the Michigan School Regional Health Coordinators Association, and we're also working with SHAPE, which is the physical education organization in the state. We're also working with MIMSPA, which is the Michigan Elementary and Middle School Principals Association. And all of these different organizations have come together to help to disseminate this program. And so we've also enlisted the help and the work of our school physical education teachers who are now currently developing the videos that all of the students will be seeing soon. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to get a group of organizations, statewide organizations, to come together and really promote youth physical activity at a time when they need it the most. I think the most exciting part about this program is that we have an opportunity to create a new normal in our state. And what do I mean by that? I mean that we know that our children are not accumulating the recommended dose of physical activity at home, but also at school. So children are supposed to be getting 60 minutes of physical activity every single day, while adults are asked to, or supposed to, or recommended to get 30 minutes of physical activity. But we know that there's probably only about 1 in 5, 1 in 4 children throughout our state and throughout the country who is physically active at the recommended levels. But by providing an opportunity at home, a structured opportunity where children can exercise not only with their families, but maybe with their friends virtually, this is an opportunity to where we can move the needle on the physical inactivity epidemic that we have in our state, in our country, and actually worldwide. This can also help kind of move the needle on the childhood obesity epidemic that we had. So we know that with the COVID-19 pandemic, because of the sheltering in place, because of the lack of physical activity opportunities, because of the increased stress levels that our youth are facing on a daily basis while they're trying to cope with the current circumstances at hand, that all of these are predictors of increased weight status or weight gain over time. And it is predicted that we will have an increase in childhood obesity as a direct function of the COVID-19 pandemic. So what's really exciting is that we have an opportunity right now to provide a free resource to parents and children to allow children and their parents to be physically active while they are at home. And even as schools begin to open up, reopen, we know that it's going to be in a hybrid model. And so kids will be at school maybe half-time, part-time. We don't know what it quite looks like just yet, but this is a way that to where kids can still continue to increase their physical activity levels no matter how schools open up in the fall. And even beyond, when we get back to a new normal, can we still be providing 20 minutes of physical activity in the home? So our goal is to produce a whole year's worth of physical activity videos produced by physical education teachers, by athletes, by the students themselves to promote physical activity at home. This resource will still be applicable even when we get back to all children are back in school on a regular basis. Because again, we know that our children are not accumulating the amount of physical activity that is recommended for a healthy lifestyle. So we know that we are able, with our impacted school programs, we were able to provide 20 minutes of physical activity in the classroom. We know that with physical education, they are getting some quality PE and physical activity in that domain, but we're still not reaching the recommended levels. And so even when additional opportunities open up for children to be active at school, we still want to create opportunities for them to be active at home. And this may also help. We know that in many different situations, similar with smoking, that once they started smoking cessation programs in schools, children would go home and say, hey, smoking isn't good for us. And that really helped to move the needle on smoking among parents and adults. The same thing may be possible with physical activity as we provide more opportunities for children to be physically active outside of school. This may indeed help with transitioning adults to be more physically active with their kids. And so again, we hope to create a brand new normal of quality family time that includes physical activity and just having a fun opportunity to be together, move together, and have a good time. I think the point that we want to make is that you can be active anywhere. So we have our traditional way of thinking about physical activity, exercise, sport is that we need a gym, we need a playground, we need some sort of equipment, we need some sort of facility in order to be physically active or meet the exercise recommendations. And I think what COVID-19 pandemic has taught us is that really we can be active anywhere, that we can be active in our homes with minimal equipment, and there are many different resources that we can access in order to stay healthy and keep moving. And this will help both our physical and mental health. So by creating a new normal, by being physically active at home, we are hoping that this spreads out into many different domains of providing health enhancing opportunities for both children and adults throughout the state of Michigan. So Impact at Home is just one small piece of the puzzle, and we hope to continue to create more opportunities for children and their adults to be physically active, not only now while we are trying to protect our health against a global pandemic, but as we move forward and get back to our normal, that we are creating a new normal that is active, healthy, and fun that can really get Michigan moving. One of the great things about working with physical education teachers is that we are providing physical activity and lessons that really are based on pediatric exercise physiology that can really help to improve the health and well-being of our children. Now, this is not a replacement for physical education, as we know that physical education is a necessary curriculum that teaches children how to move. So these videos are really to help supplement what physical education teachers are already doing and what they will be doing once we return to school. But this will be an excellent resource for our PE teachers as well, as they can now assign some home play, not homework, but home play that they can use these videos, incorporate these videos into their curriculum to, again, help our children to accumulate 60 minutes of health-enhancing physical activity. So with children having daily PE, with children having physical activity breaks during recess and in the classroom, and now having more opportunities at home, again, it's our goal to move the needle on physical activity in this state. So this program is hosted on the University of Michigan Exercise Sports Science Initiative website. If you go to essi.umich.edu, and if you click on the button that says Active Schools and Communities, it will take you right to our Impact at Home site, and you'll be able to access videos there. There's a little more information to tell you what the program is all about. You'll be able to see the letter of support that we have from the state superintendent, and you'll also, for teachers who are interested in making videos of your own, you'll also see the training that we did for physical education teachers a couple of weeks ago. So there's many different ways for people to be involved, to support the program, to access the program, and to participate.
Thank you for listening to the Michigan Minds Podcast, a production of the University of Michigan. Join the conversation on social media with #UMichImpact.